What does it really mean to live consciously, not just spiritually? And can awareness exist without thought? It's the same relationship between consciousness and spirituality and awareness and thought. Consciousness and awareness are one. Spirituality and thought are one. Because spirituality is an expression of consciousness. It is an extension of consciousness through thought. It is human. It is our interpretation of consciousness. Why consciousness is foundational? Because awareness is foundational. Without awareness, there is no perception. Without perception, there are no things. Because what we recognize as things are actually parts of our experience. The whole of existence is an experience. Even that thinginess we experience in a thing is an experience. When we say something is hard, something is soft, something is tall, something is short, what does it mean? Are we describing that thing, or are we describing our experience of that thing? It's always an experience. Because it is always there, it can never be taken away. It is the foundation of everything we know. We forget it. We hold on to things and we forget the experiencing and the one who's experiencing. We forget that awareness and consciousness is foundational. If consciousness is foundational, then we are not living in a physical world. That changes everything. Because all our ideas are physical. About the body, about the mind, about the nature of reality, space, time, matter, energy, everything is physical. But somewhere, there'll be a disconnect between our idea of life and life itself. The only conflict we experience is this conflict between truth and imagination. We live in the world of imagination through thoughts and experiences. But we are real, which cannot be taken away, which cannot be denied. Difference between living consciously and living spiritually is the difference between living existentially, as existence intends the experience of life to be. What is life? What is the experience of life? How do you experience this moment as existence intends or wants you to experience it? That is conscious living, to try and align your thoughts and experiences to the self. To see things from the first person perspective, that is your perspective. And it's very easy to shift from the first person perspective to someone else's perspective while actually fully believing that it is our perspective. The mind does this so seamlessly. We might be looking at something. We are thinking that, oh, I am looking at that and I am judging it, I am interpreting it. But more often than not, there is a filtering process like inbuilt in the mind. All our conditioning, all our experiences, all our interactions come in between us and the experience and changes it completely. Now, all our opinions and judgments about life, about people, it's not coming from the first person consciousness perspective. It's coming from a filtering mechanism which can alter the perception. That's what conditioning is. Conditioning just, it's almost like you put something in between the light source and where it's getting reflected. You can change the way it reflects, you can change the way it projects. That is where we get our individuality, our personality, our different small variations that define us as individuals. I'm different from you, you're different from someone else. But if we go a little deeper, we'll see it's the same source, same light, same consciousness, same aliveness. Now, people actually see this as something negative. When you tell someone your aliveness is not yours alone, it just feels not right. Because if my aliveness is not mine, then who am I? Then what is that thing that makes me special? Because aliveness is what I am. It's fundamental. Because I've seen dead bodies. They don't, they're not the same. If I imagine myself as a dead body as well, I don't like it. So it's not the body that I'm obsessed with. It's that thing that is animating the body. It is that thing that is making me intelligent, making me aware. There is something that is knowing. There is an experiencer. There is a being. There is an aliveness. That is what I am connected to. My body is there for a ride. It is enjoying the journey because consciousness is holding it up, it is supporting it, it is repairing it, it is taking care of it. And mind is giving it a structure. Body is sustained by the mind. It is there, but it is not the creator of experiences. It is part of the experience. It is not the source of experiences. There is no one place in the body where thoughts are being generated. But that's the idea we hold on to. Oh, body is physical. Then there is a brain and there are thoughts being generated. So we try to physically interpret our non-physical experiences because we don't know where else to put them. We don't have a model of inside. As individuals, we know there is an inside. We live in a three-dimensional world, but there is a fourth dimension. We go in and out. And we do this all the time. We can be all alone even when we are amongst hundreds of people. We can completely tune off. Now, how is that possible if we are just physical? The body is there. So, assuming that the mind is part of the body, it's got to be there. So often, we are never there where we are physically there. We are always somewhere else. It is not once in a while we drift. It's once in a while we come to the body. If you pay close attention to how much time do I really spend with me, with the body, with the now? Very little. Throughout the day, we are in a dream landscape. As long as the body is comfortable, we forget it. Because body is part of all the other experiences we are having in our mind. As far as our mind is concerned, there is no difference between our body and someone else's body. There is no difference between this body and the sky. In that moment, what is occupying the mind is the only thing that is real for the mind. In one moment, the sky is real. In one moment, the ocean is real. In one moment, the body is real. But because body is the most repetitive of patterns, ocean, we go there once in a while. Sky, we look at it when we want to. But body, we keep coming back to it again and again and again because it is the most repetitive part of our experiences. It appears more real than everything else. Otherwise, real is either there is something called as real or there is nothing real. Why this gradation? Why some things feel more real? Same person, if they are a stranger and if they get hurt, if they are in pain, it affects you in a certain way. But if you know that person, if you're emotionally connected to that person, if they get hurt, the way it affects you is different. So the same person can be more real to you. How is that possible if we are just living in a physical world? It's only possible if we are not living in a physical world. It's only possible if we are living in the world of experiences. In the world of experiences, an experience changes the quality of the entity we are interacting with. It has very little to do with that entity. It has everything to do with how we are interacting with it. The place we have given it in our mind. Real itself is that place we have given for things in our mind. This is real to me. That's the difference between dream and reality. Dream is continuous. There is no separation. There is no breaking of dream. We dream in the night. We dream when we wake up. We dream while we are walking. We dream while we are talking. Dream is always there because without thinking, there is nothing else. It's possible to stop the thinking, but that's a completely different process. For our natural daily experiences of life, thinking is always there as a backdrop, which means we are there in the dream. Then where is reality? What is real? A moment of choice when we choose to focus on something because there is an interest to focus on it. That moment becomes real. Only that moment. Moments stringed together again and again and again make something more and more real. It's all different moments of coming to it. Now, let's say if I saw something in my dream, and if I just saw it once, I'll forget it. It's just a thought. But if I keep seeing the same thing again and again and again, repetitively, it is a pattern, and then I have a relationship with it. All those moments and experiences put together, I have this sensation of reality. But how do we test whether it's real or not? It's so easy. Just reflect on everything that has happened. Where's all that gone? Your entire life. It's as if it never happened. It was as if it's just a dream. It's only when we are imagining ourselves in the future, life feels real because there's still things to be done. But when we reflect on things we have already done and there's no need to go back to, life seems like a dream. Same life, two very different experiences, just how we reflect on it. We could have lived 100 years. When you reflect back on life, it just feels like, was that 100 years or 10 minutes? It's weird actually. But when you look into the future and say, oh, I might live another 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, it seems long. The key point is seems. Because it's an experience. Because you're looking forward to certain experiences. You have things to do and accomplish. It is important that you believe that this is real. Otherwise, you can't do any of that. And it's not just a matter of saying, oh, this is a dream. You can say it. You can wake up in the morning and say, oh, this is just a dream. But still, you will live as if it's reality. Because there is really no separation between unreal and real. All experiences are equally real and equally unreal. There is no clear separation at all. So it is simply a matter of your taste. You can either call life a long dream where I'm going through different experiences. While going through those experiences, I experience it as something real. And then as it passes, I let go of it. Or you can say, this is reality. This is the nature of reality. Change is nature of reality. So we build a physical model to explain all the non-physical things. And that has been the challenge. To try, why is it so difficult to understand the nature of reality? It's been hundreds and thousands of years. Still, we don't have a clear understanding of where did things begin, where are we going. Even some of the strongest, generally accepted theories can easily be questioned, can easily be dismissed. And there's not a single scientific theory that every scientist agrees on. There's always a conflict. For some, Big Bang is absolute because we have proof. We have the cosmic microwave background radiation to prove it. We have the expansion of the universe to prove it. But if you ask Roger Penrose, he'll say it's just a total nonsense theory. He doesn't believe in it at all. And he's not someone who's not involved in the scientific terminologies. I mean, he's won Nobel Prize for physics. And yet he says clearly that Big Bang is not the right model. How is it that you can dispute something so generally accepted? It's very easy because it's a model. All our scientific interpretations are models of reality. When we talk about atoms, when we talk about molecules, existence does not really have these things. That's why when you go to the molecular level, when you go to the atomic level, the whole idea of physicality disappears. That is why we have one whole branch called quantum mechanics, which very few people understand because they're trying to understand the mind, which is non-physical, consciousness, observer effect. Everything which is non-physical, we are trying to interpret it through a physical model. Because we have hundreds of years of physical model of reality, now we need to somehow bridge these two. It can never be bridged because these two come from very different understanding. One comes from observation. When I see an object moving, I am interested in knowing why it's moving, where it's moving, how it's moving. But I am not asking the question, fundamental question, why am I watching it move? Physics is not interested in that. At least up until now, it has never been interested in it. I mean, Newton never asked the question, why am I seeing an object move the way it is moving? He completely ignored himself. And that has been the basic trend. You don't bring in awareness, you don't bring in consciousness because that confuses everything. That makes it so much harder to understand things. Even in quantum mechanics, you cannot talk about consciousness. You just do your calculations, keep your job, and do your things. If you start questioning about the observer effect, think about it. We talk about observer effect without talking about the observer. It's actually that easy. In our scientific terminologies, we can simply call it something and not really know it, not really understand it. as long as it is part of the calculations.